Hello and welcome. In the past year, the United Kingdom's immigration landscape has undergone one of the most significant transformations in recent memory. If you're a current visa holder, a future applicant, an employer, or simply someone with family in the UK, these changes will almost certainly affect you. The government has rolled out a raft of new policies aimed at fundamentally reshaping who can come to the UK, what they can earn, and how long they can stay. These aren't minor tweaks. They are major shifts impacting everything from healthcare recruitment to the path to permanent residency. Today, we're going to cut through the noise and the headlines. We will provide a clear educational breakdown of exactly what has changed, why it has changed, and what it means for you. We'll be drawing on official government announcements and Home Office guidance to give you the most accurate picture possible. So, let's get into it. To understand these changes, we first need to look at the context. In late 2023, official statistics revealed that net migration to the UK had reached a record high. This created significant political and public pressure on the government to act on its long-standing promise to reduce overall immigration numbers. In response, on December 4, 2023, the government announced what it called a five-point plan to curb migration. The stated goal was ambitious: to cut the number of people who would have been eligible to come to the UK by around 300,000. This plan forms the backbone of all the new rules that have since been implemented. The 5 pillars of this plan were: first, to stop health and care workers from bringing their family dependents; second, to significantly increase the minimum salary required for a skilled worker visa; third, to reform the shortage occupation list; fourth, to raise the minimum income for sponsoring a family member; and fifth, to review the graduate visa route. Let's break down each of these points, because the devil, as always, is in the detail. Perhaps one of the most talked about changes has been in the health and social care sector. For years, the UK's National Health Service, the NHS, and the private care sector have heavily relied on international recruitment to fill critical staff shortages. The new rules, which came into effect on March 11, 2024, introduced a major restriction. Under the new policy, people arriving in the UK on a health and care worker visa to work as a care worker or senior care worker are no longer allowed to bring dependents, meaning partners and children. It's important to be precise here. This ban specifically targets those with the occupation codes for care workers and home carers 6,135 and senior care workers 6,136. This does not apply to other healthcare professionals like doctors, nurses, or physiotherapists. On the same visa, they can still bring their families. Furthermore, there are transitional provisions. Care workers who were already in the UK on this visa route before March 11, 2024 can keep their dependents with them and can still bring them over if they hadn't already. Alongside this, a new rule was introduced requiring that any care provider in England wishing to sponsor a migrant must be registered with the Care Quality Commission, or CQC. The government's rationale was to tackle what it saw as non-compliance and exploitation within a rapidly growing sector. The impact has been immediate. The thousands of prospective care workers, particularly from countries like India and Nigeria, which have been major sources of recruitment, the dream of moving to the UK with their families has been abruptly halted. It forces a difficult choice: come alone or don't come at all. The next major pillar of the government's plan was a dramatic increase in the salary requirements for the main work visa, the skilled worker visa. This is arguably the change with the broadest impact across the economy. From April 4, 2024, the general minimum salary threshold for a new skilled worker visa applicant was raised by nearly 50%. It jumped from £26,200 to £38,700 per year. But it's not just about that base threshold. An applicant must also be paid the going rate for their specific occupation, and these going rates were also revised upwards significantly. The calculation for these rates was changed from the 25th percentile of the national average salary for a role to the 50th percentile, or the median. In simple terms, you now have to be paid at or above the salary of the average worker in your specific job, and that salary must also be above £38,700. Whichever is higher is the new rule. However, there are crucial exceptions. As we mentioned, health and care worker visa holders are exempt from this huge salary jump. There are also discounts for new entrants to the labour market, like recent graduates, although their minimum threshold also increased to £30,960. The government also reformed the old shortage occupation list, replacing it with a new, much shorter immigration salary list. If your job is on this list, you can be paid a lower salary, a minimum of £30,960, but the list is now far more targeted, covering a much smaller number of roles where there is a critical shortage. The clear intention here is to shift the UK's reliance away from overseas labour and force employers to invest in the domestic workforce, while ensuring that migrants who do come are higher earners. The changes didn't stop at work visas. The government also tightened the rules for British citizens or settled residents wanting to bring a foreign partner or spouse to the UK. For over a decade, the minimum income requirement for a family visa stood at £18,600 per year. On April 11, 2024, this was increased to £29,000. The government has stated its intention to raise this further in stages, eventually aligning it with the skilled worker visa threshold of £38,700, though a recent change in government has put these future increases under review. This policy has been particularly controversial, with critics arguing it could prevent many lower and middle-income British citizens from being able to live with their foreign partners in the UK. Now, let's address the path to permanent settlement, known as indefinite leave to remain, or ILR. Currently, most skilled workers can apply for ILR after 5 continuous years of residency. There has been widespread discussion and a government proposal to extend this qualifying period to 10 years. It is vital to be clear, this is currently a proposal and is not yet law. It was part of a government white paper on immigration, suggesting a new model of earned settlement where the right to stay permanently is gained over a longer period of contribution. The proposal has caused significant anxiety among current visa holders, but for now, the 5-year path to settlement for most work routes remains in place. We will be watching this space very closely for any developments. Finally, no discussion of UK immigration policy would be complete without mentioning the government's focus on illegal migration. This has been a top political priority, leading to the passage of the Illegal Migration Act in 2023. This act fundamentally changes how asylum claims are handled. It places a duty on the Home Secretary to detain and remove individuals who arrive in the UK through irregular means, such as by crossing the English Channel in a small boat. The law effectively prevents those who arrive this way from having their asylum claim processed in the UK. Instead, the plan is to remove them to their home country, or to a safe third country. This legislation is the legal foundation for the controversial Safety of Rwanda policy. The explicit aim is to deter dangerous crossings and break the business model of human trafficking gangs. The policy has faced numerous legal challenges and widespread criticism from human rights organisations, but it remains a central pillar of the government's strategy to control the UK's borders. So, what does this all mean when we put it together? The United Kingdom is making a clear and decisive pivot in its approach to immigration. The era of relatively open recruitment for a wide range of jobs is over. The new system is designed to be more selective, more expensive for employers, and more focused on attracting high-earning individuals while significantly reducing overall numbers. For skilled workers, the financial bar has been set much higher. For care workers, the ability to bring family has been removed. For British citizens with foreign partners, the financial requirements have become tougher. And for those seeking to settle, the future is less certain. These policies are unfolding against a backdrop of public debate about the economy, the strain on public services, and the very identity of modern Britain. The long-term effects of this overhaul will take years to fully understand, but the short-term impact is already being felt by thousands of people around the world. That's all we have time for today. We hope this breakdown has been educational and has clarified the complex web of new rules. The landscape is still evolving, and we will continue to monitor it closely. If you found this video informative, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future updates. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below, and we'll do our best to address them in upcoming content. Thank you for watching. Stay informed.